Welcome to ASHB's quarterly Smart Building Council, SBC webinar meeting, formerly the Intelligent Buildings Council. My name is Marta Kliptowska, and I'm the Programs and Communications Manager at ASHB. I'll be emceeing the slides today. Please note that today's webinar meeting is being recorded, and we will circulate that to those who registered, along with those who are present today, along with the presentation slides. A quick look at today's agenda. We'll have a quick call to order, welcome introductions about the SBC. Quick minute just for some administrative tasks. And then shortly after, we'll do a quick research update on what ASHB is currently doing in terms of research on the smart building side. I believe most of you are here today to listen to Raj Subramanian from Facilio on his keynote, Reimagining Building Automation with Cloud Overlay Architecture. He'll be presenting that shortly. And then we'll just get into a couple ASHB programs, a little bit about our podcasts, our white papers, research library, and our journal. And then lastly, we'll kind of finish up with some announcements, some new business, and we will adjourn for the afternoon. With that, I'll pass it over to Bob Allen, our Smart Building Council Chair.
Thanks, Marta. I appreciate it. And I appreciate setting up the meeting and our keynotes and all the wonderful things you do in the background to make this, this webinar happen. So I'm Bob Allen. I'm the chair of the SBC. I'm with NAVCO, Senior Vice President of Sales. Joining me, we have our vice chairs. We have Harsha Shakar, Bob Lane, and Chris Larry. So thank you guys for joining. As a little bit of background for any of the new folks on the call, this was formerly known as the Intelligent Building Council, as Marta mentioned, and our goal is to work to strengthen the large building automation industry through innovative technology-focused research projects. Dating all the way back to 2001, we've always reviewed market opportunities and we try to take strategic action on initiatives that relate to integrated systems and automation in the large building sector. So welcome those who is there first, and excited to keep moving forward with those who have been with us for a while. That being said, I'd like to let everyone know that the minutes and notes from last month or last quarter's meeting can be found at www.ashb.com/SBC. Those notes are from the May 27th meeting. So those notes will also be considered approved unless any objections are raised. Are there any objections to approving the minutes that are posted as they are posted? Therefore, the minutes are approved by consensus. Thank you very much. Moving on for our research update, and I believe, Greg, you're on a solo mission with this one today.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, so just with an update on our research projects for the Smart Building Council. So this is a collaborative research project where we call it a landmark research project. We do one in residential every year and then one in large building. You'll see some of the funders on the screen right now. We have about 16 funders on the research project. This research is being done by Harbor Research. It went to an RFP process and the initial funders selected Harbor, and this is a several year project. We're doing this on an annual basis, so hopefully we'll be doing this in 2026 as well. But this one looks at various topics in the smart building space. It looks at utilizing some surveys out to 300 commercial building owners and operators throughout mostly the US and a little bit of Canada, covering topics on cloud-based building management systems, the software landscape, sustainability, energy management, digital twins, obviously AI, and some of the other trends that are going on in the smart building space. There's still opportunity to get involved. This is about an $80,000 research project, and you can join the project for as low as $5,000 or 10 if you want to be on the steering committee. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to anyone from ASHB, Marta, myself, and then we can give you a little bit more information. But essentially, this is a crowd-funded research project for our ASHB members. if we go to the next slide, so this is an invitation only project that is still being done through the Smart Buildings Council, and this is the BACS market sizing in North America research project. So we're collecting building automation control systems market data from various different funders on the project, and I believe we're in our 5th year of this particular research, and we'll be starting a new 3-year project starting in 2026. Collecting data from with software like supervisory software, analytics, other sort of energy management software, some hardware. It's like routers and BACnet SC hubs, and then some controllers, and we've expanded off into field devices as well. And so this is really more of an invitation only type of research project, but if you're interested and sell lots of controls, please feel to reach out to us, and there may be an opportunity to get involved. Go to the next slide here. So this is the essentially a continuation of the BACS market sizing project for North America. It's been fairly well received. And so we're reaching out to these funders and trying to start a European version of this particular research. So looking to collect some of the BACS market sizing data in various different countries in Europe. And we're still working out the details. We haven't started the project yet, but we're looking to launch this in early 2026. So January timeframe is the scheduled the anticipated start date for this particular project. So we're reaching out to these. If you're on one of these organizations and want to know a little bit more about the project, feel free to reach out. But these are some of our those that have either expressed interest or some target groups that we're reaching out to for this particular project.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Thanks, Greg.
if there's no other questions, I can pass it back off to you, Bob.
Yeah, any questions on the research projects? As always, great way to get your logo on a needle moving, very insightful research endeavor. Great job by the council putting those together. Cool. All right, well, moving on to the keynote. Harsha, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, Bob.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Bob, Greg, and Martha. It's my pleasure to introduce today's topic, which is reimagining building automation with cloud overlay architecture. Bit about the background on the presentation. In today's keynote, Raj Subramanian of Facilio will share real-world examples of how large enterprise real estate operators and their facility operations teams are adopting cloud overlay architecture, and how this approach is enabling greater efficiency, scalability, and innovation across buildings portfolio. Bit about background about Raj. Raj heads the project strategy at Facilio, a leading prop tech company that offers cloud software solutions to make the building environment operationally efficient and sustainable. He's passionate about using cloud technology to make operating larger portfolio-wide real estate facilities across geographies easy and efficient. Prior to Facilio, Raj led product management of the telecom and IoT portfolio during 10-year stint at Zoho. We'll have a presentation for around 30 minutes, followed by Q&A for 15 minutes, which we'll be moderating. I'll be moderating it, and we'll take extra time if needed. And welcome, Raj, and over to you.
Right, thanks, Harsha, and thanks, ASHB, for the opportunity to present the keynote here today. Okay, thanks, Harsha, for the introduction. I'm Raj Subramanian. I'm one of the co-founders and chief product officer at Facilio. So I'm going to be talking about building automation and how to reimagine building automation in the age of AI with the cloud overlay architecture. So when you talk about building automation systems, right, traditionally, as you all know, the building automation is imagined, developed, and deployed as a single building system or technology. And there are a lot of reasons for that. It's an old technology, but also there is a lot of hardware involved. But given the context of today and in the age of AI, where data, whatever data that you can gather about your business becomes very important to hope to have the kind of AI-based efficiency for your business in the future. This becomes very limiting for businesses. All of the crucial data that the building automation generates right now gets siloed at the building level. And with all the advancements in cloud, cloud platforms are mature and has been deployed in several areas for the last close to 20 years now. So there is no reason why the software functionality of your building automation system can reside in the cloud as well as the data, right? While keeping all the hardware at the building level. So that is a kind of the broader new age architecture that you can imagine a building automation system of the future can have. All the data and software functionality driven from the cloud, and the necessary components like hardwares are part of the building infrastructure, right? And there is the very need of the hour currently is how AI is shaping the world right now, and a lot of business efficiency is going to be based on how much AI you can apply for your AI-based intelligence you can apply, and all of that is dependent on how much data you can gather and make available for the generative AI models that you would apply in your business, right? And from that context, this becomes very important for the future of your business and operational efficiency you can hope to achieve. So having set the context of why it is important to move to the cloud, I also want to kind of talk about, we're not talking about the future here, right? So all of the things that is required to move your data and software capabilities of a building automation to the cloud exist right now. And it makes so much sense, even without the futuristic AI possibilities, even for what is possible right now, and without the AI, it makes so much more sense to do that. And I'm going to explain how in this slide. I'm going to use this slide to do that. So if you look at the traditional limitations of a building automation system, it is limited in functional scope, right? And it is it's imagined as a system that is catering to the needs of technicians in a building and engineers in a building. So it allows them to actually do some very basic reporting, which never gets used, and some alarm management, which becomes very redundant after a few years, maybe. And practically they use this for some controls, like to configuring schedules and set points and things like that. And there is no reason why all of this functionality cannot be done from the cloud and can be applied across your entire portfolio, right? So apart from the advantage of a scalable approach to building automation from a software standpoint for existing users, which is basically your technicians, being able to do everything across buildings from a single login from a single system. There are a lot of other advantages that you can hope to achieve with the cloud-based building automation, right? So first of all, cloud, as I said, is a more mature in terms of its capabilities, and in several other areas, we've seen this. You take a Salesforce or ServiceNow, the workflow orchestration and things like that, and the integration capabilities that they offer. All of those are very superior than what you can hope to achieve in an on-prem software system. So, once you moved your data and software functionality to the cloud, it opens up a lot of possibilities in terms of being able to integrate with your other enterprise systems. It could be your CMMS, which is typically a cloud-based portfolio-wide solution that is that is another key part of your O&M software stack. But also your other enterprise systems, ERP systems, vendor management systems, payment systems, billing systems, and all of those things, right? So to automate a lot of manual workflows that you probably are doing currently with your within your O&M function. And apart from that, apart from doing alarming, reporting, control functionality, and things like that, the cloud platforms allow you to do a lot more, allow you to tackle a lot more use cases, O&M use cases, just by the virtue of running on the cloud, right? So you can hope to integrate with things like OpenADR or something like that for automated demand response, or you can easily do fault diagnostics. Cloud-based platforms are much more capable of analyzing a large set of data and applying rules and coming up with insights. So your BI and FTD type possibilities become very much available to you with cloud-based platforms. And also you can hope to standardize your sequences and set point policies across buildings, irrespective of what hardware layer you've deployed in each of the buildings, right? So those are all some of the advantages of having a cloud overlay platform, and you hope to achieve a lot of synergies between your CMMS and BMS, which are the two critical systems when it comes to O&M functions within a building portfolio. So having set the context about why cloud overlay makes more sense, and the need of the hour in terms of getting prepared for the AI age in terms of data, I'm going to use an example or case study to drive home the point in terms of how one of our customers leveraged our cloud overlay platform to do some of these things that we're talking about. And British Land happened to be one of our customers. They've been a customer for 5 years now, close to 5 years, I believe. And they are one of the largest landlord owner operators of commercial office properties in urban centers in the UK. So they deployed our cloud overlay platform. They started with one building. Now they have close to 10 buildings, I believe, across their portfolio. And they started with their legacy BMS systems, but since the initial go live, they've added more IoT sensors to the platform and from some of their buildings and other systems like turnstiles and things like that. And they did that with an edge processing layer. They have already specified edge processing, data processing layer that was streaming data to the cloud platform that they were going to pick. So some of the data comes through their edge processing layer. Some of the other data gets streamed directly to our overlay platform. But with our Facilio platform in place, they initially started with some high-level BI dashboards, but then have moved to tackle a lot more use cases around optimization, energy optimization, space optimization, condition-based maintenance, their tenant engagement services. They also use our CMMS, so they use the workflow management capabilities of our CMMS to automate some of their tenant services, ESG reporting, and things like that. So now I want to pick a couple of use cases to kind of give you a sense of what is possible once you have a cloud overlay like this deployed, right? So the first use cases is a condition-based maintenance use case. This makes a lot of sense. Once you capture data and from your building automation system, you have critical data about your equipment operations, to make decisions on how to optimize your operations, right? And one possibility is a condition-based maintenance instead of a planned preventative maintenance, right? Instead of doing scheduled maintenance on a particular schedule, monthly, quarterly schedule, you determine the condition of the equipment and make a decision on whether or not to do a maintenance, right? So that's basically the concept of it. You can simply look at the number of hours an equipment has run. That's the most simplistic way to do it, I guess. And then determine whether, if you're previously doing a quarterly PPM, instead of triggering it every quarter, you look at the number of hours an equipment has run and make a decision based on that. So hoping to maybe reduce the number of maintenance that you do on a particular equipment if the usage is not that much. But in this case, British Land actually used the overlay platform to do a lot more sophisticated way of doing condition-based maintenance. So they use the platform capabilities to remotely test equipment operations, right? So it could be, for example, for FCUs, you can remotely run tests on the equipment to see if the equipment is functioning properly. You can open the heat valve to a certain level and see the temperature changes and validate if that is functioning properly. And several other fan operations and things like that can be remotely tested without sending a technician out to do some of these things, which you're possibly doing during your scheduled planned preventative maintenance time, right? So that is, by doing that, they've achieved like 80% savings in time that technicians typically spend on planned preventative maintenance. So if you're spending, say, an hour to 90 minutes of your time doing preventive maintenance on an equipment, you can hope to reduce that by 80%, right? So you can just do that in 15 minutes time. You just do the basic thing required, like filter changes or coil cleaning or something like that. The rest of the thing is already tested and verified, right? So you could do something like, you can hope to do something like this with a cloud-based platform. Doing that with the building automation system is a huge ask, and you won't be able to replicate that or scale that across your portfolio. So that's one of the examples. So if the remote asset testing, some of the testing, if it fails, British Land already uses our FTD module. So they create a fault and trigger a workflow, which might in turn trigger a work order for a technician to go out and do something about that fault that they see. So that's one of the examples. The other example, I'm just quickly doing a time check here. All right, so the other example is to optimize their space usage and energy HVAC operations based on their space utilization, right? So, and this was initially done for their Flex offering. They manage their spaces for their co-working spaces, and they leveraged our platform to capture the meeting booking data as well as the occupancy data from their PAR sensors that they deployed, and use this data to determine whether a space is occupied or not, and then do setbacks and things like that to reduce energy consumption when the space is not occupied, right? And it's initially started with HVAC, and it's expanded to lighting and things like that. So that's another example of how you can use a cloud platform in line with other data sources that you are able to capture to drive some efficiency in how you operate your buildings. And in terms of results, British Land achieved about 50% in reduction in energy usage for those spaces. So those are just a couple of examples that I wanted to provide to give you a sense of the kind of possibilities that exist. Even right now, if you deployed a cloud-based overlay and with a platform like this, right? But that doesn't stop there. I've just highlighted a couple of examples, couple of use cases, but it can extend to a lot more use cases specific to the context of your business and how you prioritize some of these use cases for yourself. For example, it could apply to, you can easily automate after-hour scheduling. If you're an office portfolio and if you get after-hour requests from your tenants and handling it manually, this is something that can be easily automated to program a schedule and to remove those schedule when the request is done, and also trigger tenant billing workflow can all be automated end to end, right? And we talked about demand response. If this is something that applies in the region where you are, then you can easily integrate a platform like this to an open ADR system and capture signals and create sequences that can be triggered based on the ADR inputs that you get, and then achieve demand response in a more sophisticated manner rather than manually doing some of these things as you're possibly doing right now. And it can apply to a lot more other use cases. You can extend logically, this can be extended to grid interactive buildings and things like that when that happens. As you can see, so a cloud platform bodes well for integration with different systems, ERP systems, for data capture from other data sources, occupancy, weather data, and things like that. It makes your decarbonization, sustainability reporting much easier. You can integrate with, you can capture building like utility data and use that data within that platform. It creates a lot of possibilities than a traditional building automation system that is stuck within a building with its limited functionality can possibly do for your business, right? So I want to stop there. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to take questions at this point. Martha, I hope I did okay on the time front.
Yep.
Yes.
Thanks. Thanks,
Go ahead,
Raj.
Harsha.
Yeah, thanks, Raj, for your insightful presentation on reimagining building automation. I think the explanation on the cloud overlay architecture and how seamlessly you can connect and optimize building systems through a unified data-driven platform really gives us a fresh perspective on what's possible. Just as we have on the for the people on the call, use the Q&A channel or the chat box to kind of raise your questions, and we'll have around 15 to 20 minutes for your questions here. And while we receive questions, Raj, I just had question on the two questions. One is on the big picture. Where do you see, with this overlay architecture, where do you see from 5 years? What do you think is the most exciting outcome for building owners and occupants going forward? And secondly, I had want to ask you also in terms of, technology is one part of it, right? And what are the most common organizational and cultural hurdles you have been seeing for customers to move to cloud overlay architecture, and how are you overcoming them?
Sure. Yeah, for 5 years out is a time horizon that is hard to predict, right? Especially with what's becoming possible rapidly with AI. That is something I spend a lot of my time thinking about these days. But there's not a lot of clarity in terms of how this can be applied to our industry and where are the lowest hanging fruits, so to speak, and things like that. So even a year or two out is hard to predict, I would say, based on where we are sitting. But your second part of the question is very relevant to the first question that you had, right? So, and our industry is notorious for resisting change management, so to speak, right? So when pretty much every other industry has moved to a cloud, for O&M and building O&M has not really adopted cloud in a big way, even after 15 years of after cloud maturity, right? So that gives you a sense of the pace of adoption, technology adoption in our industry. I don't know if AA is going to be any different. I hope for the sake of our industry, it's not the case, and AA sees a much better adoption. I think in a way, AA adoption will be forced top down, even to facilities O&M, which did not happen in the case of cloud, right? All of CEO and CEOs are going to mandate that AI, their business become leverage AI in the way they think they should, and that should apply across all the functions. And O&M, facility O&M will not be spared, is my hope.
Sure. Thank you, Raj. I have one question received from Joseph Anthony here. With cloud-based systems comes security risk, communication faults, and data integrity. How do you address these issues, and what are the typical standards that are applicable for such systems?
Yeah, so this is a done and dusted problem for many years, not just for in the context of building automation in cloud, but a lot of other critical systems that has moved to the cloud, from networking to whatnot in other industries, right? So in terms of cloud security and data access and things like that, there are several standards that have become widespread and widely adopted that you can fall back on. And a lot of the existing cloud platforms and solutions use those things, in terms of being compliant from a security standpoint for data and also, for application security as well as data security.
Sure. Yeah, for those of you who are in the call, please use the Q&A or the chat box to raise your questions. And while we receive some more questions, Raj, I just also wanted to ask, based on my experience, I think organizations typically have a complex mix of legacy building systems. And what's the most critical technical considerations when layering a cloud overlay architecture on top of them?
Mm-hmm. Sure. There are several considerations, right? And there are possible different ways to do this. And that is one of the possible confusions. And traditionally, facility O&M buyers are not technologically or IT sophisticated, so to speak. So that confusion exists in the marketplace. Right. So you can, for example, just tackle the data part to begin with. That is one approach is to take, right? So I want to just move all the data to the cloud and leverage data as a starting point before worrying about the software functionality and capabilities of doing write backs and things like that, right? And without even thinking about any of the application use cases. Right, there are several products out there that allow you to just create a data lake out of the building BMS data that you can capture, right? That is one approach to take, especially if you have a long-term horizon and a roadmap on what you want to do with this, right? So a multi-year roadmap. So and first part of that is a data lake, and then comes the application use cases for which you will have to integrate your data lake with whatever software systems that you pick to solve for those use cases. The other approach is to actually think about the use cases first, right? What is more important for you? Where do you see more value for your business? And what can, which can give you a quick win and a ROI and conviction to actually build on top of whatever you desire to do, right? So, and that initial use case can be anything depending on your business, right? If it is a multi-site retailer, you could possibly do refrigerant leak detection or something like that, or suction pressure optimization that gives you energy savings. If you are an office provider, you could do something like what British Land did, like doing space optimization, but you need occupancy sensors for that. But if you don't have the appetite to install more hardware, then you can tackle some other use cases that make sense for your business, right? So pick a use case and pick a solution that is well positioned to handle that use case for you. Integration with building automation system and the data transfer part is pretty much table stakes these days. Every solution can do that for you. So once you've solved for that use case and once you've shown success with that use case, it becomes easier to navigate your, the organizational hurdles that you are expect to have to actually add more use cases. So in that, if you're taking that approach, the only consideration is the solution that you're picking. Is it a point solution that is focused on just one use case, or can you expand to other use cases with that system? If it is a point solution, then which is still fine. It helps you get there first, and then you can add another point solution for the other use case that you prioritize. But eventually, when you add a lot of point solution, at some point you will have to consolidate or look at integration and things like that, right? Which is a futuristic problem. But these are some of the several approaches that I can think of.
Sure. Thanks, Raj. I have one question that's come from Mansoor Azam in terms of is AI truly making an impact for the facility managers, or is it just an hype?
Right now, not in a meaningful way, but we are starting to see signs of how AI can become very valuable for your business. We are seeing AI automating, capturing more business for, say, FM service providers, like capturing after-hour requests, after-hour tickets, and scheduling, dispatching without any manual intervention and things like that. So we are starting to see how AI can become valuable, but it has not been adopted in a meaningful way. And that is where, our industry's pace of adoption is a question. So we have to see how that plays out.
Sure. Thank you. And we have time for just one question or so, if anybody has. Okay. Thanks, Raj, for your insightful presentation. I think you have given us a good overview and what's possible from a transformation potential possible with cloud overlay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, ASHB.
Great, Harsha. Appreciate moderating that, and thank you, Raj. It was a great presentation. Some interesting insight on AI and impact that we can look forward to seeing. So awesome little session there. Let's toss it over to Chris Larry for some podcast updates.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'd like to take a moment to highlight the ASHB Smarter Homes and Buildings podcast. It's really something special. This is where industry leaders and innovators share practical insights on technology shaping smarter, safer living spaces. So if you're interested in being a guest or possibly a host of an episode, we're always looking for subject matter experts to join the conversation. Please reach out to us at admin@ashby.com to get involved. In the latest episode, Robert Soler shares how circadian lighting supports better sleep, mood, and performance. You can access recently recorded episodes by visiting our website at www.ashb.com/podcast. And then I'll turn it over to Ken.
Bob, I think I'll actually take over because I think for the first time in a long time, Ken did not make it to one of these meetings.
Wow, this is the first I've ever known of. So hope
Yeah.
everything's okay.
No, I think he just had a bit of a conflict in schedule. So with respect to white papers, and I hope I do Ken justice because he's been great at promoting basically all these programs that we have here at ASHB. So the ASHB white papers, both the Smart Building Council and the Smart Home Council develop original white papers on timely and relevant industry topics. If you have an idea you'd like to explore, we encourage you to submit an abstract from there, or a proposal, I should say. And from there, we will work with you to form a collaborative working group of subject matter experts to help shape and co-author your paper. As the lead author, you'll drive the vision and the direction while we support you through peer reviews, roundtable discussions, and editorial input to ensure the final paper is clear, credible, and impactful. Once published, ASHB will promote the white paper across its platforms, including our website, newsletter, social media, and email campaigns to ensure it reaches the right audience. So if that is something that you would like to discuss, let us know. We'll be happy to set up a call and let you know exactly what is required to do something like that. And it's not very hard. We will work with you. We'll help you out in any way we can. Our research library, so the ASHB Research Library, which you can actually access if you go under the research and information section of the website and you click on the members library. It's a curated collection of reports, white papers, thought leadership pieces focused on smart homes, smart buildings, and connected technologies. Each paper submitted to the library undergoes a peer review process to ensure quality, relevance, and value to the industry. ASHB members have exclusive access to all the resources published within the last 3 years. Public access is available for papers that are 3 years or older. If you have a report, a white paper, or resource you'd like us to consider for inclusion in the library, please reach out. We're always looking to expand the collection with high quality content from our members and our partners. And lastly, the ASHB Journal or blog. It is available again under the research section of the ASHB website. Formerly the CABA Journal, the ASHB Journal has a long history of publishing industry research and insights. The journal continues its traditions by aiming to educate the industry on emerging technologies, challenges, opportunities in the smart home and building sector. Articles are featured on the ASHB website and promoted through multiple channels, including our weekly newsletter, e-blast, social media. And we welcome, of course, contributions from everyone, guest writers, including professionals, researchers, thought leaders, anyone on, and if anyone on this call, I should say, is interested in submitting an original article or has an idea they'd like to explore, please do give us a call. We'd be happy to walk you through the process of submitting that as well through us. And again, this is a great opportunity to really get your name out there. As we mentioned, we do promote the articles, and of course, we feature the authors in that. And I'll pass it over back to Bob.
Thanks, Marta. I appreciate you stepping up there to talk a little bit about what Ken does. And I do think he's very underestimated the work that he puts in to maintain the white papers and the journals. Super appreciate it. Definitely get involved if you're able, folks. And
he is. Ken is such a great, piece of CABA. He's very, very active in, or I should say in ASHB, he's very active in everything that we do here.
Yeah, no question. And I'm sorry if I missed it. Did you mention the employment opportunity? Well, I shouldn't say employment. It's not really employment, but the money-making opportunity that our members have with Ken?
That's right. Yes. No, I did forget that actually. Thank you for reminding me. So we do have our publication review committee, which peer reviews all of the resources that we publish to our research library. If you are interested in becoming a reviewer, please let us know. We do provide a $25 compensation for each review that you do. And then, of course, in addition to the $25 that you receive, you'll also receive ASHB money in the same equivalence of $25 that you could purchase or you could use to purchase anything from the ASHB store.
Awesome. 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 Little side hustle for everybody. Look at that.
Right. Right.
All right. Thanks, Marta. So yes, moving on to new business. This is where I open it up to you, our members, to see if you have any new business. That could include anything from Keynote ideas to new white paper ideas, or even new projects that we could talk about. Agenda items, you name it. It's kind of an open floor. Anyone have any new business? Going once, going twice. All right. I guess we're doing awesome then, because we have no suggestions. So Chris, if you don't mind me kicking it over to you for our latest announcements.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're always looking at new events and conferences that are coming up. Some of the new conferences, the BICSI is in August 17th through the 20th in Las Vegas. The IFMA World Workplace is in September 17th through the 19th in Minneapolis, and ASHB will be attending and we'll have a booth at that show. The refrigeration and HVAC in Taiwan is October 14th through the 16th. And ASHB will have a booth at the show and will be moderating a panel. And then there's the ISC East, which is an international security conference, November 18th through the 20th in New York City. If anybody else has any other events that they want to promote, please send them to Marta so that we can keep them on the schedule. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to see ASHB representing on a world stage. It's great to see. So, having no other announcements, we're kind of at the end of our session for today. I definitely want to thank all who attended and those who participated today. Again, Raj, some super insight that you shared with us, and certainly the vice chairs for helping out with the different sections, and Marta and Greg for coordinating this and really making our council what it is today. Lastly, the next meeting will be scheduled for sometime in November. We're working on the dates now, and we'll certainly get that date out in plenty of time for you to register and be able to attend. Hearing no further questions, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their summer and look forward to catching up on the next call.
Thank you,
Thanks, Bob.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.